Last Wednesday, top government officials, including at least 8 ministers and several members of parliament, mostly drawn from the ruling National Resistance Movement, attended a function in Kampala where the infamous MK movement, led by the first son General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, rebranded into the Patriotic League of Uganda, PLU. General Muhoozi is a serving senior military officer and a presidential advisor on special operations. This development sparked public debate, with many questioning the motive of the formation of this pressure group at a time when the country is preparing to head into a campaign season ahead of the 2026 general elections. Mike Mukula, the NRM vice chairperson in charge of Eastern Uganda, attended that event. In his speech, he appeared to indicate that the NRM could soon front Muhoozi Kainerugaba as the presidential candidate to take over from his father, President Museveni.
MK is a young man. I sit in the conclave of the Central Executive, which is the Central Executive Committee, the political command. The conclave decides who will move forward in this country, when and how. We will manage the transition very well, and I want to assure you, Muhoozi is your answer. I thank you.
Now, some political analysts say the launch of the Patriotic League of Uganda could mean that indeed General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is on the verge of receiving the blessing to run the country's presidency.
One of the speeches of President Museveni in 1986, he makes mention of that there would be no alternatives for Uganda for many years, and that's what he meant. So from now, NRM, he's handing it over to Muhoozi Kainerugaba in the Patriotic League of Uganda. So the continuation of NRM under still the stewardship of President Museveni. There is no way how the MK movement would launch a new party or a new movement without the nod of the President Museveni. Never.
While the president may be tolerant to this, I think it is not his initiative, but he may support, given the fact that their interests that align with his interests at play.
However, questions on why a serving military officer is freely being allowed to engage in politics, even when the army laws forbid such actions, continue to pile up, with answers lacking, at least for now.
While PLU presents itself as a pressure group, and the presupposed leader is Muhoozi himself, I think there's a bit of conflict there. Once they have addressed the question of legalities, Muhoozi moves away from the serving as an army officer and comes and joins politics. Then it becomes clearer.
It would be difficult if Muhoozi Kainerugaba contested in NRM because of his structures where he doesn't fit. But when he begins his own Patriotic League of Uganda, and you see many ministers and members of parliament and other dignitaries joining him, this means they are joining somebody who has been given the mantle of the next leadership of Uganda for some years.
Political analysts anticipate that more politicians from NRM and the opposition could join the PLU in the coming days. This line of thinking believes General Muhoozi could soon retire from military service and join politics in a full swing even before the next general elections. Daniel Kibet, NTV, Weekend Edition.
Business first will come.